Hey there, Resi Bell here. Today, we are diving deep into Alpha and Omega by Patricia Briggs. It is a short story that you can find in the book collection of short stories called Shifting Shadows. This short story is set during the events of Moon Called. If you love protective alpha males, fierce heroines, and intense werewolf politics, stick around because we have a lot to talk about. Before we get into it, don't forget to hit that like button, comment down below if you've read this book or any book in the series, and subscribe if you're into book reviews and discussions. Also, be sure to check out my channel for a more in-depth review of the Mercy Thompson series. The story of Alpha and Omega takes place during Moon Called, but we shift to Chicago, where Bran, the Merrick of all the werewolves in North America, sends his son Charles to deal with some shady pack business. But there's something different about this story. It is told from two perspectives. Anna, an Omega werewolf who has been through some terrible stuff with her pack, and Charles, who is Bran's enforcer, his assassin, and a total alpha werewolf. He's second in command of all the wolves in North America, so you have to be a dominant guy to be that powerful. This story does explore some very heavy themes of trauma and abuse, as well as sexual abuse. So if that is something you might want to avoid, it doesn't like go into depth, but it is touched on. If that's not something that you can handle, please go get some ice cream or something. Watch a warm fuzzy feelings video, okay? And take care of yourself. Let's start with Anna. When we first meet her, she is walking home after a long shift as a waitress in the freezing cold Chicago weather. She has like a threadbare jacket, not even a coat. And in the story, she's house sitting for one of her neighbors, and she stops in to feed her cat and read like the mail. And as she's reading the mail, she sees that Alan Mackenzie Fraser, Mac, the baby werewolf from Moon Called, is dead. And she knows that everything that's been happening has gone too far, and she needs to call in for help. So she reaches out to the Merrick, and she's terrified. Bran is very gentle with her on the phone, trying to get this information from her. And she tells him there's something going on. So of course he takes her seriously, has already sent Charles down, and asks Anna to go meet him so that she can be like away from her pack so that they don't know that she's told. So she has to run. She has to run right to the airport. She doesn't have a car. So she transforms into a wolf. Really cute. She's a small pitch black wolf with like just a little boop of white, I think, on her nose. Super cute. And she runs to meet Charles, and she ends up having to transform back into her human body in the parking lot of the airport, naked. And she had a bag with her, so she took that out and like got dressed, but like, ma'am, you have to be outside in the freezing cold naked. That's not okay. Throughout the story, we see her grow stronger through having... I don't want to say that Charles makes her stronger. Obviously, she's already strong on her own because she called for help. That is inextricably incredibly difficult to do when you're in an abusive situation. So just the fact that she called for help, she is not the kind to just take it and lay down. She's a strong woman. She's also a very special kind of werewolf. This is very important to the story. She's an Omega werewolf. And Omega werewolves are able to calm down alpha werewolves who are often on edge. Alpha werewolves want to fight. They want to be the biggest dominant guy in the world or whatever. And she has the ability to help them like not feel like they have to fight. So Omega werewolves are like hot commodities. Charles, when he pulls in, they see each other in the airport. Well, hold on. he's looking around the airport because his father called him and said, hey, you're looking for a woman werewolf. And that's it. That's like all the details Bran gave him. Dude. So Charles is looking around and his eyes do in fact land on Anna. And he's looking at her and he's like, oh, she's been abused. He can see the trauma seeping off of her. The insecurity of having been abused. And he thinks, no, she wouldn't have like defied her abusers to call me. Well, trauma. He doesn't know that she's been specifically abused until later. Not much later, but later. So he's looking around and he sees a woman in like a business suit and she's talking on the phone and he's like, yeah, she looks like she would defy an alpha werewolf to call my dad. And he's like getting ready to go walk over to her when he hears a small voice from the 5'2", short, curly-haired Anna Latham. And she says, did you just fly in from Montana? She says. And Charles looks at her and he immediately recognizes what she is and immediately recognizes that she's been hurt by her pack. His first thought is that he is going to end whoever did this to her. Charles has only known 3 Omegas, including Anna. 3 Omegas in his lifetime, and he is very old. He's like well before the Americas were invaded by white people old. So, and he's only known 3 Omegas. You cherish your Omegas. You don't hurt them. Okay. One of the best moments, like the absolute best moments, is when Charles and Anna are in Anna's apartment. The main werewolf that's been abusing her, Justin, he just barges in there and he looks over at Charles and he says, you gotta scram. And Charles is just sitting at the table. He's looking at his nails. He's not really letting himself be known, if you catch my drift. So Justin is being Justin is being absolutely disgusting, despicable. And like already in front of Charles, so in front of some stranger who Justin, I guess, thinks is a human, Justin starts to like assault Anna, like just like that. It's hard to talk about. It's disgusting. So he pushes Anna up against the wall and like pushes his hips into her. And Charles finally gets up and he like drops the alpha hammer on him and makes him fear for his life, as he deserved. Not only though did Charles do this, but he also chased Justin out of the apartment complex. He said he was thinking he wants Justin to feel what it feels like to be the prey. So he follows Justin and he keeps turning around and looking at Charles and like wanting to fight, but he instinctively can't. So he keeps turning around and running, and Charles follows him and lets him know, like, you're not the big dog here. I wanna like let out a torrent of cuss words whenever Justin comes up. It's rough not to. We start to see just how toxic Anna's pack is. The entire structure is like broken with wolves like Justin. I think Justin is the alpha's second in command somehow. Disgusting. I think this whole story only takes place over like a day or 2, maybe 3. So by the time we get to the climax, it is clear that Leo, who is the pack's alpha, has been covering up some really messed up stuff. As it turns out, Leo's mate is very old, and a lot of old wolves will start to kind of lose their minds as they get older and older, and Isabel is. Isabel, Leo's mate, is losing her mind. She has had all of the woman werewolves murdered in her pack, and as well as any werewolves who would run to Bran for help. Leo saw Anna and like recognized in her that if she was turned, she would be an Omega werewolf. So he orders Justin to go turn her and read the story, because the way Justin does it is disgusting. I wish I had like a hotkey to make the most disgusted face on my VTuber right now, but I don't have that yet. Ooh. Okay. So he has been using Anna to keep Isabel stable. Stable. And no one's had to be murdered in 3 years since Anna's been there. But guess what? Leo also ordered wolves to assault her with fists and other appendages, right? Ordering werewolves to do that because he knows that if Anna wanted any of them romantically, Isabel would have her killed because Isabel is crazy. The fight breaks out. Charles gets shot with silver bullets, but he still takes Leo down. They aren't taking prisoners right now because what Leo has allowed to happen is disgusting. There's not another word for it. It's disgusting, it's despicable. So Leo, dead. Leo deserves it. He's dead. Isabel is the one with the gun with the silver bullets, and she's the one who shot Charles. And so Anna jumps up, and like Isabel is like up on some mantle above the fireplace because she just has to be the center of attention. Anna jumps up and like knocks her down and accidentally murders her in one hit. That's what happens. Boyd, who is like third or fourth in the pack structure, I can't really remember, supports Anna. He was the one who originally gave Anna the Merrick's number because he had been ordered not to call for help, and he understood that Anna didn't have to follow the instructions of the Alpha. So he gave her the Merrick's number in hopes that she would call for help because he hated what was happening. Boyd hated it. He only did what he was demanded to do, commanded, like things that he couldn't resist because he's not as dominant as Leo. So the fight happens and then the fight is over. One thing that I do love about Alpha and Omega is the way that that Patricia structured the love at first sight aspect. It's so different from anything I've read personally because they're werewolves. Charles and Anna have their human halves and their wolf halves. And while they are the same, they are also different. I don't know how to explain it to you because I only have one me and me, and every other me and me is me. So I don't know. They're the same, but they're different. And their wolves immediately, that's mine, that's mine, that's my me. I'm spending the rest of my life with you. And the humans are like, guys, can you fucking chill? Ooh, guys, can you chill? Charles, even though his wolf is like down bad for Anna immediately, Charles says, hey, no, we're gonna take it slow because she needs to heal. And the fact that a super dominant werewolf can and does put his mate's healing before anything else means the world to me. So Charles has my heart. He's a good guy. In the end, Alpha and Omega is a short story that is packed with action, emotion, and a lot of character development for being so short. It sets up the series beautifully and introduces us to two incredibly complex characters. If you haven't read it yet, I highly recommend picking it up and giving it a try. Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on more in-depth reviews. I've got way more thoughts on the rest of the Mercy Thompson World books. I'm going to be reading every single one. I need to go back because there's stuff that happens before Moon Cult that I have to read. So check out my channel. I'm going to be having a lot of content coming out. I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for walking. Thank you for walking. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading.